Welcome back, peeps, to an all new episode of All Gas, No Trash. My name's Adam, and today we're going to be discussing a group named Lovers Skit, and they're from Stockholm, Sweden. But before we get to them, I do want to do the Game Rage No Curse Minute. For those of you that are concerned about the identification process on YouTube, if you want to completely avoid that and just listen to our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or what have you, we are available through rss.com as well. You can find it. I'll make a comment. So for those of you that want to listen on rss.com with no issues, no identification process, you can go ahead and do so. Unfortunately, we do have to post the live performances on our YouTube as it's the only video hosting that we have available. So unfortunately, we'll have to continue doing that, but everything else you can find on every other digital streaming platform. That's a Game Rage No Curse Minute. So over the last couple of days, I had found this group called Lover Skit that was rather interesting, and it is a group from Northern Europe, and I keep finding some interesting stuff from there. And this group is called Lover Skit. It's a duo, and they play electronic music with breakbeat stuff. Really, really interesting. And they only have 2 songs at the moment, and we will listen to them. I don't know too much about them. There's not really a whole lot available that I could tell you about them. But I thought what we could do is, of course, listen to the music, and maybe you can come up with some things that it reminds me of in the comments, and maybe we'll take it from there. But as they release more music, hopefully I will find more information available to talk about them, other than me talking about the genres of music they play, which is, again, electronic music, electronic pop, electronic breakbeat stuff. It's something I hope some of you will enjoy. The first track that I want to have you guys listen to is called Get Lost, and this particular song was the hook that got me in, even though their latest song, I think, was only the latest song that they've released is only a couple weeks old. It's fairly recent, I could say that. But Get Lost is this really interesting track that reminds me of a movie, and I'll tell you what that movie is after we give this song a listen. So go ahead and pull up your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll go ahead and listen to Get Lost from Lovers Skit. How you spell that name is Lovers, but there's an apostrophe between the R and the S. Skit. Lovers Skit. And it's possessive, so just want to get that out of the way. Lovers Skit with Get Lost. Going in. Welcome back. That was Get Lost from Lovers Skit, Lover apostrophe S Skit. That was a tasty jam. I've listened to that song numerous times over the weekend. Haven't stopped listening to it. It just makes me want to get into some kind of debauchery. And funny enough, if we're going to talk about the movie that comes to mind, it is without a doubt Fight Club, with Tyler Durden and the narrator getting to debauchery, doing all kinds of delinquent behavior, smashing up cars, fighting people on the streets. And I specifically say that situation where the Project Mayhem initiative is getting underway, and they have their recruits, and they're all doing all kinds of dumb stuff to provoke people to hopefully get them joining into all the different chapters of Fight Club. And by chapters, I mean different locales, kind of like a union, Anyways, the things that I enjoy about the track are, of course, it's the crunchiness of the tracks, from the drum beats to the keys. And of course, there's this heavily distorted guitar, which I think the effects are like overdrive or gain. I forget which one it is, but nonetheless, just the overall package of the instrumentals are just, it gives off that impression or sentiment of debauchery or delinquent behavior for a movie like Fight Club, or even like a coming of age movie where kids are going out in the middle of night, putting graffiti on walls or whatever you can imagine. But it's just a really cool track, and you have the vocalist who's doing this spoken word slash rap over the instrumentals that just seals the deal for me. It's a 2-minute song, short and to the point, very lovely. But then we're going to get to the next track. And before we get to the next track, I just want to quickly mention they have a music video for Get Lost that is shot on top of this carousel in a playground. You know, the one where you spin really fast until you puke and there's no seats or anything. You just hang on to the handlebar and hope for dear life you don't start throwing up or you don't get spun off. It's all shot in black and white. It's a really cool music video. I highly recommend you check it out. But let's go ahead and get to the next track. It's called Bad Life, and it's spelled Badlyfe. And it also has a music video, and if you are so inclined to check it out, please do so. It's on YouTube. This one also inspires me, or rather draws inspiration from a movie. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I certainly get an impression that it takes inspiration from another movie, another famous movie, I will say. But let's go ahead and get to Bad Life from Lover's Skit. Bad Life, going in. That was Bad Life from Lover's Skit. Pretty enjoyable track, actually. And I have to say that the thing that comes to mind for me, if you got a chance to check out the music video, it gives me impressions of The Matrix with the CCTV camera filter. It's got this green tint to it that reminds me of The Matrix, but then you have these cool fixed camera angles where the camera is pointing up towards Lover's Skit, and it's got the backdrop of what I imagine is downtown Stockholm, Sweden. I don't know if they have buildings like that, because I was trying to check out photos of what Stockholm, Sweden looks like in photos, and I don't know if I saw buildings that looked like what they were standing behind, and I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but nonetheless, it made for some cool scenes, and that balance between the fixed camera angles and, of course, the Matrix-esque videos of the two figures within Lover's Skit working in an office setting, it was just really awesome. But I guess the overall sentiment as far as the lyrics go that I got is becoming such a bad mother jammer. I don't want to say the F word, but a bad mother effer, to the point that working a 9-to-5 job is not going to work for you anymore. You're too much. You're too much for your own job. You're too much for the corporation that you work for. Maybe it's time to go out and do your own thing because you're such a bad bitch boss. I said it. I said it. What the fuck? Anyways, yeah, I get the impression that this is supposed to be a message of individualism, to go out on your own and go out and do your own entrepreneurship or your own creative endeavors or whatever it might be. Break it away for your 9-to-5 job and just enjoying life. But as far as like inspiration or things that I can imagine maybe this band pulled from, I don't know. I have this idea that maybe the Prodigy is something comparable to what Lover's Skit is doing. But then you have a track like Get Lost that is, it almost feels post-punk, electronic, and electronic pop, I guess. And then you have this track, which is like more breakbeat stuff. So I don't really know what to expect if they create another body of work in an EP. Say like we get another EP, are we going to get more of stuff from Get Lost, or are we going to get something more like Bad Life? And what I would personally enjoy is if we could find the medium between those two, or we find an array of genres found in their songs. But nonetheless, this is just a really cool band from Stockholm, Sweden. Again, they're called Lover's Skit, and we'll stay in tune with them. We'll try to keep in touch with talking about their music and anything we can find as far as updates, all that sort of stuff. We'll keep you updated on in future episodes. But that's more or less the wrap for this particular episode. Thanks again for sticking around. We have another one coming for you shortly afterwards, as soon as I am able to upload this episode. Anyways, thank you again, and we'll catch you all next time, and peace out.